All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, call like my Lahaina, Yahweh, Bashim, Shai, Bashim, Harakakorash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who want to teach well, and a hearty shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, quick little lesson through the spirit. Probably Bashim, Shai. It may not be quick, but got a lesson through the mercies of the Lord. The Lord gave me the spirit to do a lesson. And the inspiration, I was listening to Apostle Tahar's video earlier on my way to work this morning. I think he made it yesterday or the day before, where he was talking about. He had a picture of at the Israelite camp from the 90s, and it was about the men that took their hands off the plow. Okay, all right, and that's how we should not be, right? Taking our hands off the plow, even at the face of adversity and death. Okay, the examples that the Lord's allowed me, that's going to allow the examples that Yahweh Bashim Al Shai is going to allow me to read to you guys, all right, are going to be men that were faced with heavy adversity and even to the point of death. Okay. All right. So the title for what we see here is in 2 Timothy. All right. It says, be strong. Okay. We got to be strong. Let's see what that word strong means. Excuse me, just do it here. All right, here we go. It says, able to withstand great force or pressure. All right. And the Lord's going to give us the spirit and the mindset to do this. Okay. Well protected. All right. The scriptures say in Psalm 34:7, the angels are around about them that fear him. All right. It says resistant, resilient, imperishable. All right. Well fortified, well defended. All right. Well built. Okay. Right here. Impregnable, meaning you can't be penetrated. All right. Fortress like. And that's how the Lord's going to have the elect men. Okay. In the day of adversity. All right. In the day of times, trials and tribulations, because there's going to be things like this that's going to come up. Okay. This situation. All right. This situation right here. All right. Let me see where else. Where this is going to go down, but it's not going to go down like how we see here. All right. You're going to have situations where this is going to go down. Okay. And this is going to be the ultimate test for the whole world. Right. But we know the elect are going to be the ones that overcome it. All right. Thought there was some more pictures, but nonetheless, right. This video is to encourage you. All right. And using the scriptures and men of the Lord that Yahweh Shema Shai used as an example for us to learn from this day. All right. Let me see. I think it's important. Let me see. Before I learn. Let's see if I spell that out right. All right, it's Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. All right. The scriptures that the Lord has allowed me to gather up, Yahweh desire to give you hope. All right. Look at this word learn.
Strong's G 1319. Didaskalia.
Didaskalia is the word for learning. All right. It says here, teaching, instruction. All right. It's instruction. All right. A doctrine that is taught, and the doctrine that we teach here at Great Millstone is what the Lord said basically as well, to not be afraid of man. Okay. All right. Let me start beating on the bush. This is where I'm started. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 18, and I'm gonna read all the way down to 30. All right. It says here, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. Okay. All right. The swine's flesh that we're gonna be tricked. No, I'm not gonna say we, but the world gonna be tricked into taking is this thing right here. All right. This thing right here. Okay, the implantable bio, this word technology. Okay, all right, you can see it as my mouth is moving over. My mouse is moving over it, right? People going to do this because they're afraid to lose their life. They're going to be afraid to lose their kids, their family, their what is it? Their materialistic things. Okay, people going to be afraid to lose these things, so they're going to consent to this. Okay, but we have to be like these men right here, right? This man right here, specifically, as I read, it says Eliezer, Salaki, verse 19. It says, "But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live life stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to torment." All right, we had to be in that mindset, right? All right, because we know Esau got these guillotines. Let's see if I can spell it right. Guillotine, whatever it's called, right? It says machine with a heavy blade sliding vertically in grooves used for beheading people. All right, we know Esau got these things, so we have to be in the mindset as Eleazar, right? All right, he rejected the swine's flesh. We're gonna have to reject this right here. Okay, all right. We're gonna have to reject uh, this right here. Okay, all right, and go forth to torment. All right. So verse 20 it says, and torment in this case, you know, could be getting your head cut off, watching your family members' heads get cut off, whatever the case may be. All right. We don't know, but we do know that the Lord's gonna be there with us. All right. Um, Let me go back here. It says verse 20, and he behold them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of the wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and to make as if he did eat of the swine's flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. All right. They tried to get this man to put an okie doke on his people. All right. And some Jacob will do that. You got Jacob this time that love their life until the death, and they're gonna do whatever they gotta do to stay alive. Right. But we can't be in this mindset. Well, here's a way out. Right. Let me act like I'm taking this device. All right. It says here, because you had celebrities do that, right? Political people act like they took the juicy juice. Okay. It says here that in so doing he might be delivered from death and from the old friendship, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly as as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from child, rather the holy law made and given by Yahweh. Therefore he answered accordingly and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave, right? So he thought about what was right. He thought about, okay, this is the way I was brought up. This is the way I was taught to not eat these things, all right, because it's against the ways of the Lord. So let me just go straight to the grave, right? He was bold in the spirit, man. All right. So it says here, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being fourscore years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion. All right. He didn't want people to think because he's old, he's gone off to a strange religion, abandoning the customs of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right. And you're gonna have Jake do that, man. Even Israelites that know that they're Israelites, they're gonna concede to taking this device right here. Okay. But nonetheless, it says here, For though the present time I should be delivered from the punishment. Oh, not Salakia. Let me go back to verse 25. And they, though mine hypocrisy, so they through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer should be deceived by me. And I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable. All right, he didn't want to deceive his people, right? And you're gonna have Jake, I'm gonna repeat it, deceive their people to live a little bit longer, right? Have a little bit more time, right? But the Lord, you could take that and the Lord could put you to death right on the spot, right? Or the Lord could deliver you for not taking it, right? We're gonna get an example of where the Lord delivered men for standing up for righteousness, right? For though the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Right? You can't escape the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, right? Man might give you a way out, but the Lord is in control of everything, right? It says, wherefore now manfully changing this life, I will shew myself such as one as mine age requireth, right? And the man of that age, it requires him to use wisdom, and with using wisdom, he's set up as a scribe, more so a leader, all right, and to be an example for the nation of Israel, right? So with that age and with that wisdom in that position, he set up to be an example, and he showed himself to be an example as we are to follow, right? It says, uh, and leave a notable example to such as be young, die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws, right? And so when we don't partake in doing this right here, right, we are dying for holiness, righteousness, making ourselves a sacrifice, all right, because the Lord told us not to do it, all right? It says here, and when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. They that led him, changing the good changing the good will they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded as they thought from a desperate mind. All right, so they changed their countenance on him. Oh, they was friendly with him at first, but now they not. Right, but when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, "It is manifest unto Yahweh that has the holy knowledge that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body, being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer these things because I fear him." Remember, Eleazar feared the Lord because you can't escape the Lord the hand of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? So it's best to fear the Lord and not take this uh swine's flesh, so to speak, okay? All right. And rather to be beaten and put to death, all right? Because the Lord's going to raise you back up, right? The Lord probably numbed his body from all the pain, right? And probably just put the spirit on him to groan to make it seem like he was going through some pain. I don't know, right? But I have the thought process that the Lord's going to numb the pain of their brother so they don't go through anything that they wouldn't be able to bear. Okay. Verse 31, and thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and memorial of venture, not only to young men, but unto all his nation, all the nation of Israel, right? So he left us as an example of how to behave in strenuous persecution, right? When Esau Edom is laying the hammer down, right? When he wants to end your life, your kid's life, your woman's life, he want to take away your precious goods, your materials, okay? All right. Eleazar was an example of how to act, all right, in that time. So again, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. This was an example. It said it twice, all right? This is instruction on what to do, right? This is a teaching, okay? That word for learning, right? It says that we through patience and comfort of scriptures might have hope. Yeah. We might have hope that the Lord be merciful unto us. That the Lord may give us the strength to endure the pain and suffering that we may have to go through for His name's sake, right? Let me go here to Daniel, the 3rd chapter, because this is another example of strong-minded men that believe and fear the Lord. All right, it says here, worship of the image refused. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go down straight to the point. Uh, you had people snitching on Jake, all right, for not worshiping idols, right? Then certain Jews whom thou hast set over affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, right? These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, or worship the golden image which thou hast set up, right? This is going to be the premise on what people are going to say about us. Oh, we didn't worship the beast. We didn't take the CHIP, right? We don't care about what the government got to say, right? We not a part of it. Oh, they not a part of this world faction that is coming about, all right? It says here, then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do ye not serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Are you going to be tested? All right, the test, right? It says, now if ye be ready at the time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands? All right. Well, Esau is going to use these type of tactics. Okay. Oh, if you don't take this, we're going to put your son to death. We're going to put your daughter to death. We're going to decapitate them. We're going to cut off their fingers. We're going to cut off their legs, whatever the case may be. Right. So this is the mindset you got to be in. The same mindset that Eleazar was in, right? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee. All right. I want to read that part in another reference, right? Because here we go. In the NLT it says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. All right, let's see. Here it says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to the king, we don't need to give you an answer to this question. All right. It's basically running over the same thing, but in the footnotes of my Bible it says they didn't care to give him an answer. Like they didn't care to give him an answer, right? It says here, but if not, also like you, verse 17 says, if it be so, our power whom we serve, right? There you go. You got to serve the Lord, right? Palah, all right, is the word to serve, worship, revere, minister, to pay reverence to, respect, all right? Minister for, all right, they were servants of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? In one way, form, or another, right? They were doing the palak is the word, salaki. They were doing things that the Lord commanded them, keeping the law. Don't turn to idols, right? Don't idol worship, right? They feared the Lord, right? So it says here, continuing on, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy God nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then you know the story how Nebuchadnezzar threw them in the fire and the Lord delivered them, right? But you got to be in the mindset of these men, okay, to resist the fear of death, all right, and have that hope and confidence in Yahweh Shema Shai. I got two more scriptures and then we'll close out. it's important that we have the fear of the Lord on us, okay, in that time, thinking that, hey, just like Eleazar, the Lord could jack me up if I do this. So let me do the right thing and stand for the Lord and let the Lord deliver me, right? Same thing with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's what they did. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction is but for a moment. Worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So being like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, all right, Eleazar, not worshiping the image that Nebuchadnezzar set up or eating the swine's flesh that was proposed to Eleazar. All right, even to trick and deceive his people, he didn't go that route. Okay, this is our new test that we're going to come into. All right, don't fall for it. Right, because what you're going to miss out on is way better than what you can receive on this side. Right. Because what you can see on this side and receive on this side is going to be taken away from you, right? Verse 18, it says, while we look not on things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal, right? So the things that we have our eyes on now, we know according to 2 Peter 3:10, they're going to burn up, right? Just my last precept. But when the kingdom is set up, it's all going to be forever. Because it's going to be ruled in righteousness, and the Israelites are never going to go off and be put into the situation where we're going to go into captivity again. So this is Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. That's what this is, exhortation to continue in the faith. And that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. All right. Tribulation could be to the point of death. Tribulation could be to the point of salvation. All right. But nonetheless, endure it. We have examples, right? Just read two. Well, we was edified to the next time. Shalom.